Too. We better be going. Oh, it's
We are
6:02.
we are live. We are live. Wait. All right, JML here. Frank down there.
I'm here.
Charlie over there.
Our names have
What's
disappeared
going on?
again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now no one
What's
will ever
going
know
on
who
here?
I am. It's okay.
They know you. It's all right.
Okay, they
You're
don't
well
know.
known.
You think you know me, dude?
That was
You nailed
Tina. So we have Tim in chat.
They know
We
it's you,
have-
Charlie. They see the Eagles hat.
We
Ah,
have
go Birds and
Go
Scarf.
Terps. Oh, you're one of the few Philadelphia Eagles fans that I actually respect.
Oh,
There's a
warms up my
very-
heart, good brother.
yeah, it's a very small segment. I hope they get crushed in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Charlie.
Wow. He's just gonna say it like that.
And I admonished Tim earlier for bringing up football, but then we start the show by bringing
Yeah.
up football. So
Right.
now I'm sorry, Tim, for doing that.
Well, I mean, we are live here 3 days
See,
before the Super
wrestling
Bowl. So.
only. See,
We are
speaking
a
of-
couple days out, so it makes sense. This is
speaking-
It's only the Super Bowl.
it's only a Super Bowl. We don't have
doesn't
any
really feel
halftime
like it,
heat
though.
this year or something.
it doesn't really feel like the Super Bowl, though.
Ooh,
It doesn't.
Hard hits.
It doesn't.
Wrestling only. Nice. Hashtag.
Hey, only JML can read the comments. I learned the hard way.
No,
I'll read the
False
comments
alarm.
all I want.
at some point, I'm gonna have to sneeze during the stream. It might be a few times.
Yeah, it's almost springtime here, so it's understandable.
Monday Night Raw. What did we think of Monday Night Raw as a whole? I thought it was a great episode, actually. The standout, the headline says, our thumbnail says, Cody and Heyman, enough said. I believe Charlie was sleeping while this
No,
Monday Night
no, I
Raw
was awake. I was
You were
awake.
He was
Yeah.
He was waiting. He had that countdown. They should have put the Cody countdown back up.
Cody is everything. I'll stay up for Cody.
Third hour Cody. Yep. So you put him on.
Who was lurking? There's probably plenty of people like the stream. I only 5. I see 6 in chat. Only 5 here.
Yeah.
Like this
My
story.
friends don't like me. I try to tell them, hey, I'm going live. At least click on it. Pretend like you're talking to us. Say hello.
It's all good. It's all
right.
good. Cody Rhodes. Well, first of all,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start off by saying, not a big fan of Cody Rhodes as a babyface. Not a fan. I actually think Cody Rhodes should be a heel, but unfortunately, because he had the injury, he's gonna be like Triple H, where he comes back as a babyface. They all do. It's the injury angle, but I don't know. He comes off disingenuous as a face. Like he's a very sarcastic person in real life, like dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
I think he's better off being a heel.
Well,
Now, Frank, what was the what were we saying in chat?
While watching this, yeah. Well, we were bringing up, they seem to be having a nice rapport here between him and Heyman. So we then started to nerd out and fantasy book, the next 3 months of programming in our chat. We talked about if Cody was to turn finally, he doesn't need a mouthpiece, but if you do a double turn with him and Roman, that's money.
absolutely.
Now, like you said, him coming back from injury, it's tough. That's why, and also he got kind of like interrupted his whole first year in the company because of the injury, so it kind of puts everything back. I will say this: you're right. He does come off as just generous. It's not as bad as it was in AEW because they're not letting him like go over the top with like his promos. Like he's getting reined in a little bit, which is a good thing.
Yep.
But people still want to cheer him. But his big success will come as a top heel, and he hasn't been able to show that yet. He showed a little bit of it in the Indies, obviously. Ring of Honor, Japan. He's done some stuff. But
His
I think
time will come in WWE.
it's just tough right now because we've had Roman as a heel on top for going on 3 years, so it's kind of tough. But he will one day, if not very soon, be the top guy. And if you do double turn and you do hook up Heyman and Cody with some, they laid some seeds for the other night for sure.
So during the promo, obviously
2023, right?
So obviously during the promo, Cody peeled back the curtain, so to speak. That was his words.
Yeah.
Mentioning the story of how they were basically broke as a family in 2000 before Paul Heyman called Dusty to go work in ECW to interrupt Steve Corino, and obviously we had that angle in ECW with Corino and Dusty. Brutal death match, by the way. I mean, go check it out. WWE. Well, I would say WWE Network. Check it out on Peacock, the ECW section. What pay-per-view was it, Frank? Because the ECW pay-per-views, Living Dangerously?
I believe it was Living Dangerously, 2000. Yeah. This was during Dusty when he had left WCW for a time before the end of WCW. He was away for a while.
They released him, but then they brought him back or something. It was
came back like towards the tail end. Yeah, they even had a pay-per-view match with him and Dustin against
Terry
Flair.
Funk,
and he had he feuded with Flair and stuff. But yeah, he had a little bit of a interesting run in ECW. That was during their TNN run.
Yeah,
the ill-fated TNN run. But yeah, he had a very relatively bloody, crazy street fight with him.
And then I think didn't they also have a bull rope match?
Yeah.
Ooh,
it was a nice run. It was fun. It was like Dusty had been retired for a decade, and all of a sudden he comes back. ECW of all places.
Check this out. I'll type it in chat here.
And it's kind of testament to Dusty. ECW is completely different, even though he was a Blood and Guts guy before Blood and Guts was named as such. But didn't matter. Wherever he went, he always got over. He was always popular. So, yeah, check it out. If you didn't see his ECW run, check out some of those old clips or those old shows on.
I mean, just
Peacock.
Go on Peacock. Most people have Peacock or they have access to it. So.
Yeah, Living Dangerously or you just go back around watching those episodes on TNN at the time. You'll see a lot of that.
So Heyman, kind of got the ball
rolling.
It was
a nice way to bring it up. The way Heyman reacted, it was almost as if he wasn't expecting that. So I don't know. He looked like he legitimately caught off guard.
Yeah. A little ad-libbed some of the
sure.
promo. And obviously they had to work in the angle, towards the end with, Roman was the son that Dusty never had or always wanted.
Yeah, great line. Great smarmy heel. Like in the way Cody I know you're not telling, that's not a true story. You're just saying that to be a jerk. And I was trying to be a nice guy here and you made it personal.
So let's think of the reasons why these two would partner up with each other. Okay.
Sure.
And I thought of one while I was driving the other day, and it dawned on me. What is one thing they have in common that's not obvious? You have to think about. Chat can answer as well. The co-host can answer. I want to see where both of you are at.
I'm thinking I could be wrong. Are we making a reference here to both Cody and Heyman taking on? Not Cody, but Dusty. Dusty was the guy booking WCW. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh,
or running against Vince?
But that's part of it. But Cody essentially did start AEW.
Yes,
right?
Ran against Vince.
Right.
Well, to compete against WWE.
Yeah.
And Heyman did the same exact thing.
Sure. Right.
It works.
right? And there's a lot of frustration, right,
Sure.
between the both of them. And they've had to fight their way up the card.
Sure.
Many times they've been released or put on the back burner with
Mhm.
WWE, the family, the Rhodes family, for instance.
Yeah.
How many runs did Dustin have in WWE? 3 or 4?
Probably more than that if you count. Yeah. And like everything going back to Dusty's run when he came back in the late 80s and they made him into a joke, but he got it over, but they were trying to embarrass him. There's a lot of fuel there. And also just even the way WCW treated him at times, and Heyman's whole thing where he got fired by WCW and he started ECW, his whole thing was I'm taking on everybody because I wasn't wanted anywhere. I was fired everywhere I went. Nobody wanted me, and I'm here to be the renegade outlaw promotion.
Yep.
Which didn't have a billionaire running it, unlike AEW. So it's very similar. Like you said, they were striking on their own to do something. Maybe he can even respect Cody. Like, hey, you took it to big heights within like a year, something I couldn't do without some help. So, right, think about it. ECW was popular, but did it reach the heights that AEW has right now? It didn't have it had a national TV deal, but didn't have 1 million people watching every week.
No.
So, yeah.
And you still have the story of, and it's weird how Cody keeps bringing it up in interviews in the mainstream about Triple H and how he broke the throne in AEW. They could totally turn that back around where my plan was to come back here, take the title, and be the man and break the throne in this company.
Right.
Yeah.
And Heyman has that want to do that too, because look what happened last time he took over when he was running Raw. He got fired, not fired, but he got cut from that spot. Just like he was fired from the creative team years ago. Same thing. There's a lot of parallels, yeah, for sure.
That's why I think. And then on the other hand, you have Roman, who at this point, how many times can he go through the heel roster? I mean, the face roster as a heel. We're on 3 years now.
Yeah.
Something has to happen to freshen up his character.
More and more sense.
And the fans want to cheer him. They're just they
wouldn't take much. It wouldn't even take something so dramatic, but they're ready for it. Which they weren't ready for how many years before, which they tried so hard to do.
Yeah.
He's ironically more over as a heel than he ever was as a babyface, but although now he is getting legitimate heel heat with this whole bloodline story. So
because of Zayn.
Yeah, the underdog. It makes sense though.
Now, I really hope. So obviously we're gonna get Zayn and Reigns at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
They cannot put the belt on Sami Zayn. Sorry.
No.
I was gonna say it.
They shouldn't, and they won't, and it's okay.
They won't, and it'll be that much more of a hard hit in Montreal. So
this is not about him being the champ. This is just the next step in the story, and this is where else do you reunite the two best friends?
Yeah, that's in their hometown.
The show has to end with them like embracing in the middle of the ring.
Yep.
And then
the other thing is
for the races for Mania. We have legitimately 2 big main events ready to go. We have that Usos, Sammy and Kevin program. We've got Cody and Roman, which after the other night, that one promo, like, okay, there's our story. We got it.
So
we're off to the races.
It's interesting that you say that. Do you think the Usos are still going to be together?
Good question. I think we discussed it as well. Or do we see a sort of like a substitute since we've already established that they can do that?
Freebird rule.
Or do you do that? I think the better story would be them to stay together, but to be at odds. Because that's where the story started. The story started with the Usos and Sammy, basically. Before even Roman, like he was just trying to get Roman's attention. The only ones who were talking to him were the Usos. Well, mostly Jimmy, of course. But yeah. What do you do?
And does Cody actually have a match at Elimination Chamber? Because right now he doesn't have a match. So who do you book him against at Chamber?
If we want to get him on the card, okay.
There's only one person I can think of.
I don't think he'll be on the card.
There's only one person I could think of.
Who's that?
Solo,
right?
Have him and Solo have a match, have some sort of chaotic non-finish, dusty finish, where Solo doesn't have to eat a pin, and you could still have babyface, Cody not taking a loss.
Yeah, because we really want to save Solo for future stuff because he's definitely gonna be figuring into future plans here, even as a possible opponent once he wins the title.
The other thing I saw recently, Seth Rollins was on the Pat McAfee show. Pat McAfee is at the Super Bowl. What do you call it? Radio Row at the Super Bowl. Had about a 20-25 minute interview. It looks like it's going to be him and Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What do you guys feel about that match?
Show stealer.
Yeah, and I mean and I think with Paul leaning more heel, this would be a perfect story you can tell between the two.
Well, that's weird.
Look at that. Yeah, that was a little weird.
Look at that.
And yeah, it should be a good match, and it's honestly a big profile, a high profile match for Seth, which he deserves. After the last year, he's been a workhorse of the company, as we've said many times. So he deserves a big WrestleMania match and a big win on a stage like this, I would say. Although I would give him a win here because he did lose last year.
He needs to actually win a match. He's lost every match.
He needs the big win. And here's an opportunity. It's not like Logan's going to lose anything by losing a match. He lost to Roman. It's not like losing to Seth's going to kill him. But we still have some other, who knows in the future what we're going to do with these guys, right? But
I've seen a lot of awesome potential WrestleMania matches.
Yeah, which is something we usually haven't been able to say for a while.
Yeah.
Usually we're talking about a lot of this, legends coming back and all that. But this year, you could say Logan's a part-timer, but still.
A lot of fresh matchups.
Yeah, a lot of fresh matchups for once, and they're holding off. It seems like they've got a plan, and they're sticking to it, and they're going to run with it. That's a good thing. Apparently,
the plan for the Intercontinental title is something I think we hit on as a possibility.
Keep changing.
Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's going to be hard hitting.
But I will say, we did hear a lot of rumors about Gunther and Brock, but now with Brock and Lashley at the Chamber, what are we doing with Brock at Mania?
Put him in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Oh, God. Have him eat everybody.
Have him kill people.
No, that's a good question. What do you do with Lesnar?
I mean, unless there's shenanigans finished at Elimination Chamber and they move it to WrestleMania, I really don't know.
Yeah, because what do you do with Brock? What do you do with Lashley? Even you got a lot of guys who are.
What about Omos and Lesnar?
Oh, get out of here!
No, I don't see that. Omos, I think they've kind of, I don't know, not given up on him, but he's basically he's Khali, but not without the comedy. He's there to be a threat, and he might look good in the Battle Royal or two, but that's where he got.
How about Edge and Lesnar?
Edge, Balor, and Hell in a Cell is what I'm hearing.
I don't think they're going to have
that was rumored for Rumble, but I don't see them doing that.
I don't see them doing that at a Mania, especially the last Hell in a Cell at Mania was probably the worst Hell in a Cell match of all time between Bossman and Taker.
Oh, I think you're talking about Shane and Taker. I don't know. That was a lot longer.
That I forgot about that one, but
that was a lot longer. So some would argue that it was worse.
I just forgot about that one.
But it did have Shane jumping off the top of the cage, so I guess
which he did.
Point for that. I know a lot of people did not like that match. I wasn't particularly a big fan of it either.
Yeah,
that's why you forgot about it. But
there is a battle. We do battle royals every year, or almost every year at WrestleMania. I think they skipped the COVID year.
Yeah,
because they couldn't have that many people in the ring at once.
Yeah, the last 2 years they did it actually on SmackDown. They didn't even do it on WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know. Yeah, because last year, do you know who won last year's?
Mojo Rawley.
No, not last year. He did win it once. It was Madcap Moss who won it last year.
Oh boy!
Kind of set up the breakup of
how easily we forget.
Shout out Happy Corbin. I did get that hit that cool autograph card.
Yeah,
Thank you,
speaking of WWE cards, breaking WWE on Saturday. We have 4 spots remaining. Grab them while you can. We're close to 1,000 subs. I can't believe it.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for everybody jumping in these breaks. What was some amazing pulls the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it's funny too because I'm like,
on a hot streak.
I'm like, whoa.
He's got the hot
I'm like,
hand.
this is a rock out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the comps on it? And for Charlie, if he doesn't know what a comp is, like how much it last sold for.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, this one sold for like $200+, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Damn. Go JML.
Some nice cars there. Undertaker auto. Yeah.
Yeah, I pulled an X-Pac auto.
The X-Pac auto was nice. Yeah.
The Finn Balor.
The Balor one was dope.
I'm so jealous of the Finn Balor pull.
Yeah.
Goldberg. There was a Randy Orton redemption.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Rock.
Yeah, they're nice cards. I have to give it up. Like I said the other day. The Panini took over for the WWE cards. They're doing some amazing cards. Even the base cards look so nice. I'm like amazed because Topps had some boring cards.
Yeah.
These are like
because Topps did a lot of paper. So the only good WWE Topps sets, in my opinion, were Finest in Chrome. And those sets had a lot of quality control issues. So ask who owns the Finn now. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I told him about that. I pulled it for Bensky because he had that letter spot. I'm like, I kind of want this. How do we make this happen?
I think we all kind of want that.
Hey, I'm
happy
with the happy
order,
order.
Especially now because he wears like the purple colors, and I was like, oh, this is like a color match. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I pulled a Pat Patterson autograph right before he died.
I didn't tell you guys. So last night I was in a break, and it was the impeccable. So it was like the higher end. It was the last box, and it was WrestleMania signatures, and it was a redemption. And I'm like, who's a redemption in this set? And I had K, right? And I'm like, okay. He pulls the card down, and it's Kurt Angle. And I was like, oh my God. So it's a redemption. It's out of 9. The card is disgusting. Like, he hasn't signed them yet, but I've looked at the other ones. I'll pull it up on screen.
Yeah.
We've totally digressed.
All right. We're promoting. We're live, pal.
It's in wrestling, so
yeah, it is.
Roll with it.
This is current news. This is currently out there. These cards. I know. Speaking of which, funny. I know the other night you pulled the redemption for the Orton one, right? The one that which was really nice. Somebody we were talking about earlier today. Pull back the curtain a little bit. That's what he likes to say.
Okay. See if this works. Oh.
Damn.
You see this? That's the Undertaker version of the card.
Wow.
That's out of 27. Right? Because this is how many WrestleManias they competed in. I figured this one out. Wow. So the angle is out of 9.
Wow.
So it's pretty. I hope he signs it. I hope he signs
it. The Taker one too. I like that. That was I think WrestleMania 14 his entrance against Kane. That was a cool entrance. Between the breaks.
Yeah, between the breaks and
that's good. See what we're doing.
Nice.
We converted a couple people. So
that's what we're here to do, right? Awesome. We're here to talk to you about something today. We'll come door to door if you need us.
Yeah, that Undertaker's. I mean, but all of them. There's our Orton.
I'll pull out some old magazines and some old PWI almanacs and talk about history with everybody. That Undertaker one is real nice, though. Yeah, Orton is a nice hit.
The redemption.
Hey, I'll take the Happy Corbin. Hey, it's a nice card.
The redemption only sold for like $350. So I can't even imagine if that card actually gets signed. It's probably worth 2.5 times that.
I would say so.
Damn.
And I'm not married to Kurt Angle. We know how much I am. Like, I respect the in-ring work, but I'm just not a fan. So I hope he signs it, then I can add something else to my collection. I have that one getting redeemed, and I have a Cena out of 90.
You got the golden touch, man.
No, I don't. RGL has the golden touch for me, but then when he's in my breaks, I hit him absolutely nothing. I sorted a break. It was one card. It was a Nikki Ash base card from Select, and I was like, yikes.
Hey, like I said, I was happy. I got an autograph card, so I was happy. So it was worth my time the other day.
Yeah,
I even got a rare double. I got the Io Shirai / Io Sky card. So I got both names.
Saw those.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Got a Humberto Carrillo. I got 2 Humberto Carrillo cards, so I'm doing all right.
Again, check out that break. It is on the website. I will link.
Some nice cards, guys. Can't wait to see the new series coming out this year.
Oh, the Immaculate. Yeah, you have to see that one. So they have a booklet in that, and it's the Bloodline. So it's Roman, the Usos, and then I think on the other side is Rikishi, Fatu, like Rikishi, Sika, and Alpha. On the other side of the booklet. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then there's a DX booklet. So it's Michaels, Hunter, Road Dogg, and X-Pac. Yeah. Disgusting.
Wow.
Thank you for tuning into our card chat.
Yes. Sorry about that. Disgusting.
A new segment.
Here we got to pad the time out here. We're running short. We got to pad the time out a little bit. We got to be like the Acclaim to stand in the ring for 5 minutes at the end of the show because we ran short. We'll get there. Anyways,
so Monday Night Raw. Obviously, we're building up for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
We had the qualifying matches. Dawkins loses from Street Profits. Tez wins. This doesn't look like it's going to be a heel turn. This probably just looks like they're going to part separate ways.
Or they're testing the waters, at least with the separate ways, yeah.
Okay, I just said they'd split. I didn't say it'd be a heel turn.
And honestly, Dawkins, we've got Montez already rocket shipped here in our minds, but Dawkins is holding his own as a singles guy. I think he'll be okay. He's not going to be the top, maybe a top guy, but I think he'll be able to at least stick around. He's gotten very good.
Dawkins lost some weight as well.
Yeah, he did. He's looking good. So maybe not a full Sean Marty here. So I'm wearing the Sean hat.
Well, I don't think Dawkins is on cocaine. So
no, I don't think he needs it. I don't think the wellness check he would pass that. So
what happened with Damian Priest? What happened? What happened with that promo? He was really confused between Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber, and Royal Rumble.
Style.
Yeah, it got tough. He missed up his line and then he tried to fix it. It's it happens, but it's tough when you're trying to memorize. You got to hit these lines. I know people talk about scripted promos, but although sometimes it helps, but in some cases, if you mess up like one part of that, it's like filming a scene. You mess up one line, the whole scene goes in.
Well, I think I give credit to Finn and Dom for holding their composure somewhat. Yeah.
They kind of
just straight out laughing at him.
Right. They held their composure and they moved it along by jumping in. Dominic's pretty infallible now since he's been an ex-con and all.
Ex-con Dom.
This guy went from being the guy everybody groaned at seeing to being a highlight of every
I'm all
week.
about work-life balance. But why is Ripley given a week off to go to Australia during the biggest push of her career?
Yeah, I was wondering why that happened too.
I assume something she needed to go do. I don't know. They said she was promoting it, but I think maybe
promoting what? Promoting what? Promoting
I don't know.
Her,
that was just the excuse they gave. They were
promoting WrestleMania.
What's that?
I said I said promoting her fantastic swimsuit body. I mean, it's the only thing that I've seen. It's weird. Like she should have been on Raw. There's no reason for her to take any time off right now.
Yeah, considering that they were doing the challenge for the mixed tag and all that.
Or does she appear on SmackDown?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Not yet. They're setting up this mixed tag, so I don't see that happening just yet. I don't know. Maybe she's another one. I mean, a lot of people lately have been having problems with their visas and stuff, so I don't know. People have been going back and forth. I don't know. I don't want to say. It looks like she's just been having a nice vacation, though. So
I read one of these like crazy not conspiracy, but like the fantasy booking.
Yeah.
They're like, Ripley needs to turn on Judgment Day. It was like clickbait with this mystery person. And I'm like, okay, let me click on this. They need Buddy Matthews back in WWE.
No,
and I'm like, no, they do not. They do not.
No, they do not, and he's not going anywhere. We know Tony's not just releasing people to go back to WWE right now. So
Games to Games has to eat. He always has to eat. Dude doesn't miss a meal.
No, I don't need to see her and Buddy on screen. It's nice that they're together. Great. I wish them the best, but we don't need them, on TV together.
And speaking of Buddy, his ex fiance Alexa Bliss taking time off from WWE for mental health reasons.
Okay.
Oh, is that what it was said? I just heard she was taking time off.
It's rough because she's in the Wyatt angle, but
no, it seems like she's just legit taking time off, which would explain why it was so such abrupt, like way that match ended, and like they didn't even follow up on it outside of the little tease.
I think it has to do more with her personal life than it has to do with in the ring. Yeah. Like, I bet you she has marriage issues.
Possible.
I guarantee it. Mark it down. You will see a separation between Ryan Cabrera and.
So now we're predicting.
Yes, let's mark it down. Everyone in chat.
Okay. Hey, I mean, it's possible. I don't like to speculate people's personal life.
It seems like
okay.
It's headed that way. She was in a hot angle.
Yeah.
A pushed angle, yeah, for sure.
And she wanted to be in this thing. So it doesn't make sense to me as to why all of a sudden she's having mental health issues that have to do with the actual WWE wrestling. It has to be outside of the ring. Whether it's that, maybe it's something else. But I'm going to say that. That's me personally. You don't have to comment. It's fine. That's just me.
So that's all right. I mean, so you're telling me just like everything else going on with this Bray Wyatt angle, this is also not going to have a payoff anywhere in sight. So you're
again. Ooh. It is. Let me tell you, they might as well release Bray Wyatt again. Let him go to AEW. Let him go to Impact. Let him go to Hollywood. Let him be a snuff porn director. I don't care. Just get him out of my television. It's done. It's over. It's over. Him and Braun Strowman, put them out to pasture. They're completely buried. They're done. Some of it is WWE's fault, and some of it's actually their fault too. So done. Karrion Kross is there too. 3 of them.
Fortunately.
Yeah.
Frank's dumbfounded. He's like,
no, I'm not dumbfounded. I'm just like, okay. I mean, I'm not far off from you here. So, yeah, I mean, you're pretty much dead in the water right now. And it's kind of hurting, like, the show. Like, the show is pretty hot right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, and you have something like that dragging down the show.
Speaking of dragging down the show, JBL, this whole thing with Corbin.
Yeah.
What is this leading to? I had a couple ideas.
Please share, because
I didn't think it was leading. I didn't know if it was leading anything. I think they just said, "Why are we doing this? This is stupid." And he's probably like, "Why am I traveling to Raw every week for what?"
Who are two people on Raw that have been booked absolutely dreadful since, I don't know, the summer? The Miz and Corbin.
Okay.
I see an alliance between the both of them. Or with Corbin, maybe he reverts back to the lone wolf.
That I wouldn't mind.
But how many times is this guy going to change his character?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work. It's too much. Like you said, too much character changing, too much. There was a time where he could have been something here, but they just kind of like from the get-go, they couldn't decide what they wanted to do with him. Even when he first was NXT, like you said, he was the lone wolf. He had this streak going. He was like a Goldberg streak. He was beating people. The crowd was into him. They turn him heel for some reason. He becomes like this. He's this anti-indie guy. He doesn't like these guys that came in from the indies. He's I was a football player. And then he comes up and he's a generic heel. Then he becomes an authority figure for some reason. Then he's a king. Then he's broke. Then he's poor, which is like the only time that was fun in the entire run. There was when he was broke.
Yeah,
staying in a shirt. And then he's happy. Now he's not. He's still happy, but he's got more money. I don't know what's happening.
But to piggyback off of JML, I wouldn't mind seeing him back to lone wolf.
I don't know at this point. I don't think the people are going to take him serious. There's just some people, like you said, are in this spot. Whether it's booking or the way people react to them, they're not going to react to these people. Well, at least. What are we doing?
It's kind of a joke to see the Miz, right? Who's a two-time Grand Slam champion. Okay, he is essentially the new Santino Marella. That's who he is. This presently booked, he is Santino Marella.
Yeah, he's like the safety net they like when they need someone to work with, like a celebrity or do a funny angle, they'll bring him out. But everything else, he's just in the background. He's kind of like what Sami Zayn was becoming before the Bloodline angle.
Yeah,
when he joined them before, or I should say before the Johnny Knoxville stuff and all that. He's just kind of the butt of the joke, which he's good at being, of course, because he sells it very well. But it's just,
can the Miz and Corbin be revived? Can their careers be revived?
Miz certainly can.
Corbin is not bad in the mic. He's not a bad talker. He's never recovered from the way they presented him early on. And you had Vince go on TV and blame him for the shows, thinking like people like perception is reality, even though we should know this is not true. This is storylines, but perception. I mean, we'll get into later when we talk about Dynamite. We got people calling the police department to snitch on MJF for admitting to a possible crime that didn't actually happen. So, I mean, you know what I'm trying to say, though, right here? People, like, you tell them that, oh, he stinks, he's the reason the show sucks. People will buy it.
Yeah. Nate was saying something about Alexa, that he's here for her. Yeah, I'd be here for her, too.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Dynamite, I did not watch it. So
I even watched it.
You guys are gonna have to do the heavy lifting. Take me through. So we finally have MJF wrestling, right? After 2 months, a month, 6 weeks. How long has it been?
What, since he actually had a match?
Yeah.
84 years.
Has he wrestled since he won the title? I don't remember.
Starks?
Oh, yeah, the Starks match. I think that was it.
So 2 months. So Takashita.
I'm pretty sure Logan Paul's going to wind up having more matches in the past year than MJF at this point.
You have a champion who doesn't wrestle at all in a company that needs the ratings. The promos can only go so far in AEW. They actually have to have their champion wrestle because people want to see him Russell.
They're building up this match. And the problem is that they have a pay-per-view at the end of November, and the next one's not till March, the first week of March, and they've just been having to stretch this out by doing one of their favorite tropes, which is he's running through all these opponents. It's basically just an excuse of saying, "Hey, look who Danielson is going to fight this week. That's cool. It's a cool match," which is like how Tony loves to book. Hey, wouldn't this match be cool? But which it has been. There's been some crazy matches on there, very good, but we know he's not losing.
Yep.
And MJF is just kind of there. I mean, he finally has a match last night. It was very good too. I will say that, but it's good to see him in the ring. He gives this promo. I mean, they're really trying to make sure he's not a cool heel, so he comes out there and cuts this ridiculous promo about basically saying he was in a car crash and he switched seats with the girl to get her in trouble instead of him. So people were literally calling the police department apparently. And where were they last night in Texas?
Yeah.
Insane. I mean, just let the guy do what he does best. The guy can talk, and the guy needs to wrestle once in a while.
So the Acclaimed, they're one of the more popular acts in AEW. They lost the tag belts.
Yeah.
To the
Ass Boys.
The Ass Boys. The
For
Gun
reasons.
Club. It makes sense to me that they lost. Maybe it was too soon. But you're building more heat. You're building the Gun Club up by them taking the title, the heat for them, which is good. But how many times are these tag belts going to change hands in the TNT title?
Oh God, a TNT especially. I mean, they claimed what they wanted when I was there. Grand Slam that was end of September, so at least they had a 4-month run. But you're right; it's just they keep. I don't see what the point is. Not saying the Acclaim need the titles; they're pretty over. They don't whether or not they need the belts is a thing. I'm just glad they didn't really, have Billy turn on them. At least not yet. It didn't make any sense. Although they kind of teased it last night.
When I get to 10K,
I don't know. Like, what are we doing? What is the purpose of putting on? You said building the heat for them, but what are they building for? Are we transitioning to someone else? Is FTR coming back? We don't know. They had they lost to the Guns the last time they were on TV, so.
It looked like they were planting seeds with the last little segment with being beat up and all that, and alluding to the FTR.
Yeah.
But who's to say that they're even coming back to AEW?
That's what I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. So
that's fair.
And if not, then what are we doing here? What is this title change? Is this just to put it on them for a few weeks till the pay-per-view and see what happens? It seemed to. I know the crowd was shocked. There was a lot of stunned grown men in the crowd. It kind of a lot of people. I think it put a lot of damper on a lot of people. Not me per se. I thought it was kind of weird, but a lot of people said, "Oh, they loved the show. A lot of great matches." And it ended like that. It was kind of weird. And it ended like I said. They ran short last night because apparently the women's title match with Hayter and Bunny ran short because Bunny legit got injured. I think she broke her nose or something. So they were running short. So the show kind of the title match ends. And for the first time in Dynamite history, we have time to reflect on a match, which is a good thing. Hey, you just lost the titles. It shouldn't be. Oh my God, the Acclaim lost the titles. Tune in Friday at Rampage at 10 o'clock. We can't. We had a few minutes.
We'll all dress up as wrestlers.
Is that what we're gonna do?
10K.
Oh, okay.
That's a long time away.
Is that a promise? All right.
It's a long time away. Every time I say it's a long time away, it's like it happens a lot sooner.
All right, so
than I think.
We'll dress as everybody can dress as their. Actually, no. If we get to 10, we'll dress as your least favorite wrestler. There you go.
Oh boy,
we really want to get. We want to.
Oh, that'd be easy. That'd be easy for me.
I'd have to dress as Rey Mysterio. Right.
I'd have to dress as Bray Wyatt at this point.
Oh boy.
That's why I said I knew you were going to say that.
Oh boy.
With the world's Chinese lantern.
Oh boy.
He's got jokes. He's got jokes.
And Charlie knows how much I used to love Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. I know too.
So does Frank.
It's funny how
it'd be easy. I'll just buy a mask. I'll say some spooky shit, and everyone will be like, "Oh my God, that's amazing! That's amazing!" Oh, he's so cryptic. You know what I'll do? I'll do like little vignettes, like little promos, and it'll just be a bunch of random letters and paintings, and it'll be like a dead bunny somewhere. Just and then I'll do a countdown that leads to the stream. I'll come out
with a tiny little lantern.
Tiny little lantern.
That's fine, because that was actually the most interesting part about this last 6 months. Sadly enough.
It goes back to what I was saying with Triple H, and just him and Tony Khan are infatuated with one another with these return pops, debut pops. That's great. But where are they going once they re-debut? Yeah. Do we have a storyline figured out? I would rather have a guy built up for 2 months, right? And then they actually have some sort of story set in stone for them.
They don't have that.
I feel like I'm watching an episode of Lost, okay? And I used to love Lost. So this is my comparison with Bray Wyatt in the TV show Lost, okay? And clip it. Everyone clip this. Lost started off as the best television show of all time. Of all time. First 3 or 4 seasons. You're like, wow, this is riveting. I adore the show. I adore all the characters. Jack is my hero. I want to see Sawyer and Kate hook up. This is amazing. And then they just hit you with a bunch of random characters and plot lines that just appear out of nowhere. It's very much like this Bray Wyatt character and storyline. Nothing seems to work. I don't like it anymore. And then by the time it ends, you're like, why did I waste my time and effort and energy loving something for it just to turn out to be shit? And that's exactly my comparison between Bray Wyatt and Lost.
I'm not giving up on Bray Wyatt.
I'll take your word for it. I mean, but to be fair, even that day we were talking about his return. Well, he's returning today. You were saying it then. I need to see something besides. It's actually worse than I thought too, because they've done nothing for months.
He's wrestled 2 matches.
The one where he broke his finger in the pitch.
The one I was at where he broke his finger in a 2-minute match against Jinder Mahal, and 5 minutes tops at the Rumble, and with a black light.
And getting back to Lost, okay? Because exactly my thoughts.
Go ahead. That's all you. I never really watched.
Yeah, I didn't. I never watched it either.
Spoiler alert! I'm gonna give it 5 seconds. 1, 2.
Hey, you got to, because there's people now.
I'm never gonna watch it.
They're gonna probably binge it now. They're gonna say, "I want to binge it now." So yeah, please cover your ears.
When they were stuck, the whole thing, I was like, I hope they're not stuck in limbo between heaven and hell, right? And going to the afterlife. I hope that's not what the show's about. It would just be anyone could write that.
That's cliche, yeah.
And that was absolutely what it was.
Wow.
After all the seasons, you had a writer strike somewhere in between there. So you had to wait like 18 months for one of the seasons.
Wow.
And that's what they gave you.
And that's what they get. And it's kind of like Bray Wyatt, okay? He got released. We waited 14 months for him to come back. And you know what? We got nothing. Absolutely zero. Absolutely nothing. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
It's just, yeah. You know, it's funny how some things stay the same while some things change, right? Just think about it, all the time that's passed. I was thinking about it yesterday, even when I was looking at my memories online and seeing, 4 years ago we were at that NXT show.
We were at it, and that was
in Poughkeepsie. So
a great NXT roster. And I remember turning to you, and what did I say? Do you remember this?
Oh, when I went over to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I sat with you for minutes. Yeah.
Remember what I said? Remember who was on that show?
Right.
Ripley.
Yeah.
And Bianca. I said, out of everyone on this show, those are the 2 bona fide main eventers in the entire show. And where are they? The main event.
Exactly.
You know who should be
This is
scouting?
a true story, guys.
True story. This guy.
And this isn't a time when the like the NXT Raw. Let's go back and think about this, where they were at the time. Bianca was like a year.
Wait a second. JML lives in Florida. He could scout.
I could.
Well, you should go down to the PC for sure. He can sit there in the front row with a sign promoting the channel. Card breaks, whatever, until he gets tossed out.
Listen.
But yeah, you did say that.
That roster had Undisputed Era. It had Gargano. It had Ciampa. It had I don't know what they call the Viking experience, where they call the Viking Raiders.
They were the War Raiders then, yeah.
The War Raiders.
And of course, a certain Mr. Patrick
at 1K.
Clark.
It's not at 1K. It's at 10K. But
yeah, think about that. You said it on a show that had all those people plus a certain Mr. Patrick Clark, who we don't speak of anymore.
Velveteen.
That was at the top of his popularity at the point that I just looked at my videos, the pop he got when he came out. But of all those people,
Ciampa. I said those are the two stars. I think I even said it there. I said I like how, and this is when Bianca was like kind of a heel, but not a heel.
She was like
I was like, this perfect character, and they ruined her now on the main roster by being a babyface for the last 3 years. But she's still a main eventer. I call it like I see it.
Right.
Thank you.
JML, when our names actually show up on the videos, you need to put the Scout. JML.
Yeah, he's the top scout for sure. But yeah, he did say this. It's no lie. I was there, and he wasn't wrong. I mean, the first time I saw Belair, like when she came to do the Mae Young Classic, she had like a qualifying match, and like she stood out immediately. Like, who's this? This is one of their recruits.
They had Kairi Sane. They had Io Shirai. I said, well, the two stars are Ripley and Belair. Yeah. I said the other two were good hands. But unfortunately, the WWE will never fully commit to an Asian having a title for that long. And it's just been their way, and it's been terrible for many, many years. I don't know why. Who's the last Asian to hold the U.S. title? An Intercontinental title?
Nakamura.
Right? That's it? Really?
No, you're right. No, you're not wrong. It's been a thing. Like, they don't.
It has been a thing. He got a phone call.
Yeah, it wasn't for me, thankfully. But yeah, it's been a thing. It's like they think that they can't like connect with fans. It's not true. Obviously,
you have plenty of internet nerds that love New Japan Pro Wrestling. They love it.
Hunter knows this. It's not like he doesn't know this. He tried. Like, that's the reason why he was bringing in talent from Japan, like for the Cruiserweight Classic, for all this stuff. Like, so he knows this.
It baffles my mind.
I mean, Nakamura's case, he's broken down. That's the thing. So he's not really trying anymore. No. He wrestled hard for a long time. He's enjoying making his money and hanging out. Whatever, more power to him. But yeah,
let's go back to AEW. You know what I didn't realize about AEW until recently? Miro hasn't wrestled since like September.
I think since All Out.
Yeah. How is
he hasn't wrestled since CM Punk was in the company?
How is that man on the sidelines?
I don't. You talk about mysterious, like going away. I really don't understand. It made me nervous, honestly, because look what happened when Brody disappeared. Like I got nervous for a long time. Now it just seems like they're just. I don't. Like they managed to heat him up again, which I didn't think was possible. And then they just kind of put him on the shelf. I don't know. He's not injured. There's no. That's like we talk about inability about at the pop. That's all we're concerned with. It's always the next guy, the next new guy. This is the guy we got to focus on. And but they never circle back to this guy. I don't get it.
The problem is they signed too many people that are in the Miro mode. Like, you have Wardlow, you have Samoa Joe,
right?
You have Brian Cage. Well, you had Brian Cage. I don't know what's his contractual status.
Lance Archer, I don't know.
Lance Archer.
Who knows what his status is at this point?
Like they signed too many of the same people in this 12-month span. But we never got Samoa Joe and Miro. Like, why? If I'm Tony Khan, I go, someone wants to see this match. Someone would want to see this feud.
Yeah.
I'd say Miro versus anybody. Like you said, he hasn't had a match in that long.
I'm tired of seeing Wardlow and Samoa Joe. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, and they've only had 2 matches, I think, and we're already tired of it. You took the title off him, you put it on Joe, you gave it to Darby so he can get a hometown pop or whatever the reason was. So that's another short reign for Darby. The guy they just keep. I don't know. Joe's actually been entertaining. He's great on the mic. He's always gonna be great on the mic, even if he's breaking down at this point in his career. But he's managed to stay healthy in this run. So why are we bouncing this title around? Wardlow is just he's not like he was. His whole thing was people wanted to see him break off an MJF. Once that happened, what else is there to do? Maybe he's not as good as they thought he was.
Probably,
and that's okay. I mean, there's been a lot of guys like that. A lot of people have been fooled by that pop before.
Or we also have Hobbs, who's a similar.
Yeah, like they keep trying and stuff with Hobbs, but it's like there's just too many of the same guys.
Well, it happens when you have a 250 count roster. These guys and girls get lost in the shuffle.
That's why we have these. Well, it's totally going to happen too. We're going to have a Ring of Honor TV tapings, guys. I swear that Tony has swore to us they're having them. But even
what about?
I don't know.
It seems to me that WWE is just licking their chops and waiting for some of these people just to get frustrated, get released, or Tony just finally cut ties with some of these people, and they just start picking people off one by one.
Oh, they will. They definitely will.
Like if Starks doesn't get a legitimate push by the summer, I think he's out. I think he's out. Yeah. I think he already has one foot out the door. I think MJF has one foot out the door. Yeah. FTR is very hard to read.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation considering they left for a reason. Would they go back because tag teams are not as focused on there? But what else are they going to do?
They like Hunter. They didn't like Vince. Now Vince is back.
Yeah, that could complicate things a little bit. I don't know.
Wardlow, his contract's got to be up soon. Hobbs' contract's got to be up soon because a lot of these guys are on like their original deals.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem is that when these guys are at their hottest, they're not capitalizing enough. Like Starks, they're trying to push, but like currently, but you got to really you got to pull the trigger at some point. Some of these guys, even MJF, like they waited. I think they waited well too long to pull that trigger. I don't know why,
and he doesn't have any opponents that are built up to go against him.
Right?
No,
they have a deep push down the card, Danielson.
And they're going to go in an hour on an AEW pay-per-view. Pay-per-view is going to go till like 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, does anybody think he has any chance of winning this match? No.
Danielson got beat by everyone on the roster.
Yeah.
In the main event. Now he's the only one that can go against MJF because they put themselves into a corner.
And now we're going to have yet another, apparently, Hangman Moxley match, even though they already had 3, and he's already decisively won 2 out of 3. We're going to have another one. I don't know what's happening.
I've said it on the show. Frank said it.
We going crazy here?
Charlie, not as much.
What's that?
They need CM Punk back.
Clearly.
I don't care. Forget the attitude. Let's take all of that out. Just take all of that out. He is the needle mover that they need. There's no one else that they can bring into the company that would move the needle like he does.
If you bring him in, like whatever role you put him in, like it's gonna be the hottest thing going. You can make him the top heel, you can make him the top, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
It's something. Otherwise, we've got Are we? I mean, are we crazy? I think we've been all in agreement on this. Meanwhile, everybody's just keeps saying, "Well, the show's been great." I'm like, yeah, they have, but what's happening? That's what we're here to do, guys.
What story?
I watched last.
They say, "Oh, yeah, this is a good story." I'm like, where?
I watched last night for the first time in God knows how long, and I predicted every match that happened.
Well, yeah, you're not going to have the elite lose to top flight.
Yeah, it was.
No matter how many near falls they had, like he's reversing the one-winged angel. Like he's not pinning Kenny Omega on TV.
No.
So what are they doing with them? They're just kind of there. They're just doing trios matches. It's just like, what are we doing with Kenny?
What are we doing?
I don't know. You do need something back. I don't know. I think I'm going crazy because we are in agreement. Everyone else I hear, they're like, "Oh no, it's great." I'm like, am I watching the same show?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
And if anyone in chat watches AEW, please tell us that we're wrong.
And honestly, you can tell them honestly, you were the high. Like when this company started, you were the highest on this company that I knew. Even I wasn't so sure, and you were like, no. Even like maybe even a year into the pandemic, even still, then like.
But what happened? What happened that made me change? I go, oh, Cody left. Oh, this isn't good.
It's not a good sign.
It's not good.
Nope.
I think he was holding a lot of that together. He was the peacemaker.
You know why? Because he's very much like Switzerland. He doesn't like. He's like the peacemaker. Tries to get him.
Which is why there was, I think that's why there was just a riff with him and the rest of with the Bucks and Kenny because of that.
And Jericho isn't. Jericho will just go on whatever side's going to get him the most money, which is fine.
Of course, he's a smart guy.
But yeah, that's about it for this show.
Yeah.
Frank, we're going to have to schedule at some point a baseball only show. It's been a very quiet couple weeks with baseball.
Yeah. We're like a week away from pitchers and catchers.
But let's make an announcement. What's our announcement for the show? What are we going to start?
Yes. So everybody out there, if you're listening right now and you're interested, if you check out our baseball only show, we're going to officially announce the first ever baseball only fantasy baseball league.
What's up, Russ?
More details will come, but
there will be there's money involved, but we're also giving prizes. So
yeah, for sure. I've played fantasy baseball for a long time. I've kind of gotten bored of it, but this seems like a great idea on the channel. I'm excited to interact with you guys, so this should be fun. So I know we want to do like a live draft stream, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we could do live draft stream.
Charlie can join you if he doesn't know what he's doing. You can start a team. Don't worry.
I'd be completely lost. I pre-ordered MLB the Show 23 this year.
Good man.
About that.
Charlie's an Orioles fan. They do have a lot of nice young players.
I got a lot of nice Orioles cards in that break. Yeah, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, you got Cedric Mullins out of 5.
Yeah, that was a nice card. We're gonna have to trade at some point.
Out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. It's okay. You're an Orioles. You can join. You know what that means? He's an Orioles fan. That's perfect. So you know who not to pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Orioles. He's getting. He'll pick though in the first round. Manny Machado. He'll be like, I'm going with Old Faithful.
That's okay.
He probably is a first round pick, depending on how many teams are in the draft. But all right, guys, yeah, we're gonna do a fantasy baseball draft, and I think a lot of the show will be centered around the fantasy aspect and some of the news. We are gonna partner with another podcast and be on their show. They're gonna be on our show in the coming weeks. Not our wrestling, the baseball show. And and if you guys want to join the wrestling show, you want to join this show, want to guest, want to talk, let me know. You can't be. You have to be on camera though. We don't like lurker voices. It just scares me.
Camera shy.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Camera. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Check out the break. We got 3 spots left now.
Yep. Check it out, guys. There's always some great hits there. We'll see you again soon on this show. I know we've got, I don't know, we'll talk about that later, I guess, when we're going to be back. But
we'll be back next week, probably
Gamer
same
Talk.
time, same channel.
I know we do have at some point we have a review coming up, but we'll let you know.
We'll figure that out. Thanks, Bad Box.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, get in touch with me if you want to join the fantasy league, and we'll get that set up. Take care. Good night.